We are Hopton Ghost Hunters, a paranormal investigating team that has been running for over 10 years. We have recently visited Beccles to conduct investigations. Places we have visited are the Public Hall, Town Hall and Dance Hall, which was the former police station. This is what messages and images our team reported sensing during our investigation at the Beccles Public Hall. This is not evidence, but in our experience, our clients would like to know what is sensed during our investigations. We began our investigation in the foyer. A member of the team sensed that there was a man called Mr. Edgar Smith. Edgar was wearing a suit and seemed to be a manager of the theatre from around the 1940s to 50s. He liked to watch the shows from the balcony and watch over what he thinks is his building. It was also sensed that he was a pipe smoker. A lady called Sue was seen throughout the building, including the foyer. Sue was thought to be a cleaner and was wearing a black dress with a frilly collar and a pinafore. Images were shown of Sue having 6 children and enjoying her time at the building. A girl of around 5 years old called Sally was also sensed in the foyer and the theatre area. Sally had her hair in bunches and was wearing a pink t-shirt and jeans. She was pushing a Tiny Tears type doll in a pushchair. We believe she was from the 1980s. A boy called Sam was seen running upstairs to the balcony. There was a man called Charles sitting in the balcony area. He seemed upper class and well dressed. The feeling that someone fell off the balcony and got hung was very strong and gave a sad feeling to this area. In the ladies' dressing room there were 2 ladies from different eras. Beryl, a plump lady, and a cleaner that seemed to be from the 1950s, and Elizabeth from the 1800s who seemed like a dresser. The male dressing room had a young actor-type boy called Sebastian. Sebastian had brown hair and was about 13 to 14 years old. He seemed to be waiting to go on stage. The second boy called William was also sensed strongly in this room. William had dark hair, goofy teeth and was quite dirty looking. It was thought that he was possibly a stagehand. A member of the team sensed that William was sad because people had called him nasty names such as Billy Goat. The following EVP was recorded on the evening of the investigation. You will need headphones to listen.
Well, Rolling Bernard will be here on Sunday, and with lots of whistling.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
No, that was a whistle.
That was a whistle. That was a whistle.
Here is the EVP again, in case you missed it.
Well, Rolling Bernard will be here on Sunday, and with lots of whistling.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
No, that was a whistle.
That was a whistle. That was a whistle.
One of the theories of a spirit whistle is a spirit trying to communicate and a whistle coming through instead of words. After the investigation, whilst checking the history of the area, the history of Whistling Billy was found. Billy died in an early part of the 21st century. He must have been in his 70s. Well known in the town and could usually be heard long before he was seen. He had an aunt and uncle living in Smallgate Street in Beccles, opposite the police station. They kept a cycle repair and hire shop. Billy often visited them. During the war he visited the public hall when it was a soup kitchen, as did many local children. The family name was West. The next location we investigated was the Beccles Town Hall. This is what messages and images our team reported sensing during our investigation. We began our investigation in the main chambers. A member of the team sensed that a Victor Green was present. Victor was described as being a well-dressed and upper-class man, who looked to be around 55 years old. Also in this area was a man called Chamberlain. Chamberlain had shown himself to us on 2 separate visits. He was described as being dressed in rags. He was being tried for theft, but didn't seem to really understand what was going on. The images of Chamberlain being found guilty and then put in the stocks before serving his sentence were seen. The following EVP was caught in the main chamber. It sounds as though the spirit is telling a member of our team what to say. Headphones may need to be worn.
He was walked. He was wronged.
Wronged.
Oh, well, the one before that kept saying it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he was robbed. He was wronged. It's like he's trying to tell me that it wasn't me. It was me that's the victim, and they've got it all wrong.
Here is the EVP again, in case you missed it.
Robbed.
He was robbed. He was wronged.
Wronged.
Oh, well, the one before that kept saying it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he was robbed. He was wronged. It's like he's trying to tell me that it wasn't me. It was me that's the victim, and they've got it all wrong.
Next we moved into the conference room, and a couple of the team sensed that a man was present. He was described as being around 70 years old and bald on top of the head, though he had long hair at the sides. It was felt that he could have possibly been a caretaker of sorts. He seemed to keep making a strange sucking noise and carried a large set of keys in his belt. In the group we have a psychic artist who has drawn this image of the caretaker. There was also a lady sensed in this room. She was called Hilary and was a music teacher and was singing the scales. We moved back into the main chambers and the spirit of Ethel Bloom was sensed. Ethel had cheated on her husband with a wealthy local man. Her husband then left, taking all that they owned, leaving Ethel and her daughter to live in squalor. The images of her changed greatly from an attractive lady who wore beautiful dresses into a frumpy woman wearing rags. It was believed that she was charged with theft, but no further information was received. A fisherman called Egbert was also present and was witness to a man stealing a fish. This thief was called Harry, and he was showing the image of him faking illness and death to get out of his sentence. Also in this room, the image of two men looking at a massive map or scroll was seen. Both men were well dressed and wearing curled wigs. One man was short and stocky, and the other was tall and slender. Reenactments of court cases were conducted in the main chamber. This is called an era cue, to try to trigger a reaction in spirits. Music and objects can also be used for this. The following EVP was captured as a result of a court case reenactment. Headphones may need to be worn.
Mr. Chamberlain, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Here is the EVP again, in case you missed it.
Mr. Chamberlain, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
The next location we visited was the Beccles Dance Hall, which was the former police station. This is what messages and images our team reported sensing during our investigation. We began our investigation upstairs in the dance hall. It is believed that this room was a former court-like room with lots of people being judged over. The spirit of a former police officer called James Peter Wallace was present. James was charged with fraud and deception, but believed that his previous good character and standing in the public should far outweigh this small mistake. Next, the spirit of a prostitute called Ivor was sensed. Ivor seemed to be the accuser of someone attacking her and ripping off her bead necklace. Ivor was wearing a low-cut red frill dress and was quite flirty. This drawing by our psychic artist shows what Lady Ivor looked like. Images of Lady Jane being accused of witchcraft and poisoning her husband with arsenic were also sensed. Lady Jane denied the charges and claimed that she just made the potions to help illness and afflictions. Next, we moved to the first cell, and it was felt that this area was busy with spirits. The spirit of John Wren was present. John was a large man who spent many nights in the cell for being a drunk and a public nuisance. Images of a man called Joseph banging on the walls were also shown. A man called Isaac, who had been beaten and had a swollen cheek, were also present. We returned to the main dance hall, and one of the team reported the images of another man being accused named Nicholas Martin. Nicholas had consumption, so kept coughing and spitting up blood. It was claimed that he had robbed a famous older lady and robbed graves. We attempted to get some spirit interaction with a couple of mock trials, with Nicholas and Lady Jane being called forward. Also present in the dance hall were birds in a cage and a policeman called Harold, but no further information was received on these. If you find that you require a paranormal investigation, Hopton Ghost Hunters offer a friendly and professional approach with over 10 years' experience using the latest techniques and equipment, excluding seances and Ouija boards. All investigations are free, discreet and confidential. Businesses may wish to use an investigation for promotional purposes. If you wish to ask any questions, why not contact us by visiting our website www.hoptonghosthunters.co.uk. You could email us on hoptonghosthunters@talktalk.net or add us on Facebook. Telephone us on 0787 250 9220